Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Ganganapade Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 27th of November 2025, Thanksgiving Day. Today is Thanksgiving, and what a beautiful opportunity it is for us to be thankful for our families, for all the good blessings that we have. May the Supreme Paramatma, Bhagavan, and Bhagavan ke jo sant hai, may they bless the entire world with peace, happiness, thankfulness, and gratitude on this auspicious day. We are continuing by the Krupa of Sri Radhaji, Sri Krishna Paramatma, and all the great sages on Ichha Shakti, Gnan Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and in connection with regards to living liberation, Jivan Mukta Sthiti, and Prema Bhakti. This is our goal. So today there was a request made by one of our participants to talk about what is called self-pity. Feeling sad about situations that have happened in one's life. And that is called pity. In English, it is called pity, P-I-T-Y. It is a very energy-draining, of course, emotion, no doubt. And it has many components to it. And what does it do? It destroys Gnan Shakti. It destroys all three of the Shaktis, Gnan Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Ichha Shakti, this emotional pattern of self-pity. How terrible the situation is, how bad things are, if people really cared more about me, things like this, life is unfair, whatever the thoughts that are situation is causing that, it is an emotion that is damaging Gnan Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti. How does it damage it? Because it is what is called self-referential looping. If you're taking notes, you can write this down, and I'm making a recording here. You can listen to it later, and all the related other videos that will come along with this. Self-referential looping. Let's stay focused on this point. This is what ahankar. We've been talking about ego the whole time. This is another way to understand what is this ahankar. Self-referential. Meaning what? Repetitive mental processes in which attention keeps circling back to the self, not the Atma, the individualized self. The attention keeps going on the wounds. This problem happened, that happened, this shouldn't have happened, I shouldn't have done this, somebody shouldn't have done. This just goes on like this. There are wounds, W-O-U-N-D-S. There are physical wounds in life, and there's emotional scars and wounds. Person's mind goes back to that again and again and again. That life is unfair. I've been treated unfairly. This shouldn't have happened. Why this happened? It goes on. There is a perception of one's shortcomings. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have. How terrible a person I am. This kind of thought, feeling, this is called perceived shortcomings. It's a perception of the deficiency. Okay. So rather than moving outward to broader perspectives or constructive actions, one gets drowned inside these emotions, and it will cause damage. This is why, I don't know all the personal lives of all of you online, but it doesn't matter who it is. Why we do so much bhajan kirtan, almost, we do it starting at 7 o'clock in the morning until 8:15, 8:20, bhajans and mantras and Vishnu Sahasranam. Why we do all this? It is to unblock this energy drain from the system. And it has to be done every day because it is so deeply blocked inside. It's not just going to go away within a week or 2 weeks. We don't know how long it'll take. But it has continuous drilling has to be there to unblock that thing with bhav, with bhakti. सत्संग छोड़ना नहीं कभी, भगवान की भक्ति छोड़नी नहीं. Because this self-referential looping, it focuses our mental consciousness repeatedly on me and my suffering. I'm suffering this way. This has happened. This has happened. This has happened. I shouldn't have done this. This person did this. It just goes on. Pity. And then one is drowned. What good comes out of it? Nothing. And does anybody care even on the outside? Maybe some people here and there. How long they're going to care? They're living their lives. See, this is another example of energy damage, where we are creating our own energy damage, our own mental prison. The individual, through self-pity and blame and self-blame and guilt, is generating a psychological prison, because the ego is doing that, this generation. It wants to generate that. Why? Why does anybody want to generate that? In a very strange way, it finds some kind of comfort in that. There's really no comfort in it, but it seems to. It's an ego activity. That this shouldn't have happened. And then you start living in that emotion. It's a very subtle and tricky phenomenon to understand. You can try to do research on this, and it's not very easy to grasp what it is exactly. But it is a form of ego in a very twisted way. The focus is consciously on me and my suffering. The same themes about me are rehearsed over and over and over and over. Instead of asking what can be done to better myself, what else is true other than what I'm just thinking, the mind of the person returns to, look at how bad this is for me. No one understands what I go through. And this is a loop. This looping stabilizes self-pity. It becomes solidified inside. It stabilizes it as an ongoing state rather than an episodic mood. It may come, sometimes it happens in our lives, sometimes it comes for a few minutes and then it goes away. But people who have problems with this, that thing has become solidified inside, that thought pattern. The looping again and again and again has solidified it. इसीलिए looping क्या करना? भगवान का नाम. Somebody was mentioning it yesterday. भगवान का नाम लेना, भगवान का महिमा, and do not hold blame for others and blame for oneself. छोड़ देना इसको. How to do that? What is the sadhana? मंदिर में जाना. If you want to go to any temple, कोई बात नहीं. घर में मंदिर भी है, बाहर के मंदिर भी है. Go to the temple. Take out good 1 hour, 2 hours. तिलक करना. Make sure body is clean, everything. भगवान के आगे बैठना. And mantra jap. Start mantra. Start name, holy name. Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Radha, Shri Radha, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Bhagavad Naam chalu karna. And literally take a flower and say, hey Prabhu, I am this flower. I'm at your feet. As I am, my whole mind, body, complex, everything, whatever faults, deficiencies, I'm surrendering everything to you. It is a one-step solution. Now, this is Sachin's humble opinion at the feet of Bhagwan Shankar. If we don't do this, we will not get out of this self-pity. Every scripture of the world says this. You surrender to me. Come to me. You don't analyze this trash. This emotion, keep analyzing it. People go to therapist after therapist. Jana, it's good. Those are good things. It can help. But to remove it from the root, it has to be given over. The ahankar that is associated with this has to be turned over at Paramatma. At the feet of Paramatma. Ahankar ka jnaan hona chahiye. Okay, what is this ahankar? And how it is working inside. That is Jnana Shakti. When this person can turn these energy vampires, as Dr. Chaitanya Kripalu has used that beautiful, it's not a beautiful word, but it is a very realistic word. It's a terrible thing actually, energy vampire. राक्षस जिसको हम कहते हैं, अंतर के राक्षस है ये सब, और इसको शक्ति को भक्षण करते हैं. दे डिस्ट्रॉय एनर्जी, डिस्ट्रॉय आवर माइंड, आवर ब्रेन, क्वालिटी ऑफ इमोशन, द TEMDE, सबका नाश करता है ये सब. इसको राक्षस कहते हैं. काम राक्षस भी है, काम में भी राक्षसी वृत्ति हो सकती है, काम में भी दैवी वृत्ति हो सकती है. क्रोध में तो राक्षसी वृत्ति मोस्टली है, एक्सेप्ट इट इज यूज्ड फॉर सम बेनिफिशियल पर्पस. और लोभ में भी राक्षसी वृत्ति है. ये सब राक्षसी वृत्ति है कि मनुष्य की वृत्ति नहीं है. और भगवान के भक्त की तो वृत्ति है ही नहीं ऐसी. You see, so that's why when Bhagwan Krishna even says, I am among all the devatas, I am Kamdev, that is a creative impulse. That is a different matter. वो एक अलग बात है. He didn't mention about Krodh and Lobh that way. He mentioned about Kam that way. And why is that? Because we need to be creative. If we are not creative, we will be self-destructive. Let's be very clear. If we are not creative, which is what Bhagwan Krishna says, I am among all the devatas, I am Kamdev. What does that mean? It has a lot of deep metaphysical meaning. I won't go into that here right now. But it means be creative. Because we have the Shakti inside for creativity, for enjoyment, for different kinds of expressions, of artistic expressions, musical expressions, being in a state of growth and new things coming up in life. Otherwise, we will stagnate and degrade. So this self-referential looping is what is creating a stabilized state of self-pity. Meaning self-pity has become fixed inside, locked up inside. Terrible. बहुत खराब बात है. इसको तोड़ देना. नमः शिवाय मंत्र. भगवान पर मंत्र करना, राधा मंत्र करना, शिव मंत्र करना, कोई बात नहीं. But it has to be done with the surrender of the ego. That as I am yours. I'm completely yours. Everything is you only. It is called Sharanagati. We looked at Sharanagati, the 6 aspects, and it is called surrender. The word surrender is interesting. Sarvadharman parityajya. That means that the surrender of the ego is what the ego doesn't want. It doesn't want to surrender to anybody. Especially God. भगवान के साथ तो उसको तो सरेंडर करना ही नहीं है. It wants to remain in its own enclosure. And it wants to funnel energy. It wants to run our lives that way. Ahankar is not to be utilized that way to expand its range. It needs to remain only as a tool within a boundary for interaction. It is called Vyavarika level. For transaction. That's it. Nothing beyond that. Absolutely nothing beyond that. You see, it's very interesting. Self-pity doesn't have the kind of explosiveness that anger does. You know, it doesn't have that, or even lobh and krodh and all that. It doesn't have that kind of thing. It is like it's an undercurrent inside. It is soft. It is experientially soft. You know, and it aligns with a person's sense of identity. Because our sense of who I am gets connected into that emotion of pity. It's a very tricky problem to solve. You see, you try to solve this problem in a therapeutic sense, clinically, but difficult baat hai. And keep analyzing it, but at the end of it, that entire emotion has to be given over to Paramatma. To say that this is I'm giving it back, you know, this energy back to you, and that is how I can be free. It's not easy. It's not easy because there is withdrawal also. It's a retreat from the right kind of engagement with the world. Social contact, our goals, challenges in life. You know, people just withdraw sometimes. They just don't want to do it. They get depressed. Depression aa jata hai. Life has become meaningless. Kuch nahi karna. There's no motivation to do anything, right? This kind of stuff is afflicting millions of individuals. So what to do? I think we understand the problem clearly. First of all, recognize that that's not who we are. That emotional wave that is coming from inside, that's not me. That is an experience happening within the mind for whatever reasons, life experiences. And I am the one generating it. Who is generating self-pity? We are. Sometimes from outside, people may say some negative things and then we internalize that. That's also true. Because we fixate on narrative. It's called narrative fixation in psychology. It is a rigid, repetitive attachment to a particular story about oneself and one's life events. If Sachin has done something 15 years ago that I shouldn't have done, and I look at that, I remember that, and I said, oh my God, I shouldn't have done this. Why did I do? And I start to evaluate it in that way. Yes, maybe I should not have done that. But then guilt, shame, blame, pity, that opens up. Oh, how terrible I am. How bad I am. Change it around and say, okay, this mistake was made. Koi baat nahi. Make life better now. Don't make that mistake again. And do our prayashchit karna. Rather than self-pity, prayashchit. Prayashchit means what? Atonement. Danvat karna Bhagwan ko. Pradikshana karna. Mandiron mein, every Hindu temple you can go to, you can do clockwise pradikshana. That is a prayashchit. You can say, I'm going to do 1008 pradikshana because of this mistake. Very good. Feel good. And then after it's done, place some flowers at the feet of the Ishta Devata. And then do not bring inside that shame, guilt, blame. Activate that again. It's been released. It's done with. It's done with. There was some purpose behind it. It's done with. Have a broader vision. And in the highest level of realization, everything is just Leela. But wo bahut aage ki baat hai. Then there will be no question of any kind of pity or anything like that. You see, so this self-blame is part of narrative fixation. We have certain narrative, so certain things have happened in the past, and our mind is trapped over there. Some conflict happened, some divorce happened, some issue happened, some difficulty happened, some action happened that shouldn't have happened, some whatever. It doesn't matter. A narrative, it is called self-narrative, self-referential narrative. The person keeps telling themselves the same story in which they are blaming themselves. They are wronged by somebody. They are burdened by some situation. This shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. This, and then you keep analyzing it. Then the analysis begins. So the mind is trying to do all this, by the way, analyzing it and had this pity reaction. It's trying to do all that because there is pain there. Shame, pain, there's some difficulty there. It is trying to get out of it, and the more it tries to get out of it, the more it sinks inside. That's the problem. So how do you get out of that thing? By having a much broader vision, by adopting several truths. The first basic truth is the past can't be changed because the past doesn't actually exist anywhere. Now, that's a radical idea. We talked about this in Angel Wing a lot before. Just a few points I'll mention here. Past, bhutkal. Kahan hai? Where does it exist? It exists in our memories, but does the past exist in our memories? Or just memories of those events exist within us in the present? There's nothing like the past or the future. Actually, there's only present life. There's no such thing as the past, and there's no such thing as the future. Future is just a projection of the mind, what can be. That projection is happening in the present. Remembering the sequences of events that happened before, that remembering happens in the present. We cannot live in the past. People say, don't live in the past. I'm living in the past. No, you're living in the memory of the events that have happened in the present. We cannot live in the past. We only live in the present. Everything is in the present only. There's nothing other than the present. So when we realize that I myself am damaging, contaminating, harming, getting trapped inside the memories of the past, what am I doing? The memories that are stored in my brain, which sequentially, that is called the past, but they're not really the past. Those memories are present now, not in the past. I know it's a little hard to understand, maybe a little bit tricky. Everything exists only now, but it's been sequentially placed as psychological time, and that is the reason why our thinking, our remembering, we start to live inside that memory structure, and we say we're living in the past. We're actually living in the memory structure in the present. And by doing that, particularly in an entangled way, in a way that is repeating loops, we are destroying Gnan Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti. We damage it ourselves. This is why in Sanatan Dharma there are so many bhajans and mantras and pujan. All of this that is done, it is one of the major reasons is to stop the internal damage we are causing to ourselves. Nobody else is causing that kind of damage other than we. Bhagwan Krishna says so. He says it multiple times in so many places. The Upanishad says so. The Amrit Bindu Upanishad says so. So many scriptures are there. And we know from our own experience, we are the cause of our own imprisonment. Man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. बंधन का कारण हमारा मन ही है, मुक्ति का कारण ही मन है. But to recognize this, to recognize that the storehouse of memories, the entire memory structure is not me. That is held as experience, part of my experiences. That's not who I am. I have nothing. Those memories are useful for living my life. That's all. Why should I be stuck in those memories? We talked about this last several days also. Getting stuck inside those memories is called narrative fixation. And then we rumination, thinking again and again and again, repetitive, passive thinking about one's distress. Why I'm distressed this way, this happened, why it happened, analysis upon analysis. And then they keep thinking about the consequences and getting sad inside, and there's no resolution. And it's a looping. This just keeps looping. Why does this always happen to me? Other people don't have to deal with this. Why am I married to this person? Why my child is doing this? And why somebody did this? And it just goes on. It just goes on. And we lose our life this way. We damage our life this way. And other people's lives also. So to stop this, now what is the solution? The direct solution is to increase sadhana with the understanding and bhav of letting go of the entire process of self-blame, shame and guilt. All of it, drop it right now. Drop it now. Don't wait until next moment even. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Aim Reem Kleem Chamundai Viche. Bhagwan ka naam lena. And say, that's it. We are flawed. Every human being is flawed. So we recognize that and say that I am yours. You will take care of me. Just keep attention on that Paramatma. Get rid of self-blame, self-shame, and guilt. Shame, guilt and blame. Sampurna chhod dena. How? Sounds very nice. Sounds nice. Sachin is talking about. Sounds very good. How do you let this go? by sitting in front of भगवान की मूर्ति, दिया करना, गुरु परंपरा को नमस्कार करना, सबका आशीर्वाद लेना, and from inside with tremendous confidence recognize that this self-blame, pity, shame, guilt, all this thing, this is not going to help anybody. What will help is to make my life as beautiful as I can make it. Stay focused on beauty, saundarya, sundarta par focus karna. Go to different gardens, go in nature, saundarya, the things that are immediately giving us enjoyment, stay focused on that. Go to restaurants if you want. Go with your family if you want. I'm not even talking about spiritual things, just normal human level activity that is very beautiful and enjoyable. Do that. Go watch some movies or whatever it is. But don't get into this hole inside. और सौंदर्य का महिमा बहुत है. Sundarta. Start with nature. Or if you mix Paramatma with that is even better. भगवान की ही सब, भगवान is the Ananda Kanda. Sundar mein the actual beauty is Prabhu, is the Parameshwara, is that Param Tattva. So stay focused on Saundarya. If you want, put on some nice clothes, put on some nice scents and whatever. Make the senses more alive. What's wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with it. Who says something is wrong with that thing? If you want to have a better quality life, it's good to have a better quality life. What's wrong with it? Have a better quality life. Make the home that we're living in, get it well organized. When you are entering into the home, the feeling should be, kitne swarg jaisa hona chahiye, ghar ka vatavaran. It should be heavenly. Your refrigerator should be filled with all the good foods that you like to eat. See, this is at the level of senses and the body and sense level. Make the home like a heaven. Make it a heaven. Everything, put it where it should be. Have everything in plenty, what should be there, not deficiency. And take joy in all items, in all actions. It is the art of Saundarya. I don't know if we've ever said that before or not. We always talk about art of living. Right? Everybody's heard of that. There's the foundation, art of living and all that thing. Yes. Let's expand that. It is the art of enjoyment. And when we recognize the art of enjoyment with our family, with our loved ones, with friends, with different holidays and birthdays and आनंद, ये सब आनंद का ही एक स्वरूप है. When we mix Paramatma, we recognize the source is Bhagwan, that is Ananda. If we forget that the source is Paramatma, that is Sukh. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. There's no other difference. I could have a glass of chocolate milk. You know, the holidays are coming up now, the holidays are there. In Christmas time and all that, people like hot chocolate to drink with marshmallow and all that fun stuff. Have a nice tall, or have a nice mug of hot chocolate in the winter time, with marshmallows. Is it enjoyable? Yes, why not? But when we say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayana, aapki Shakti hai, then that is Ananda. If we forget Narayana, forget Paramatma, forget God, that is Sukha. We get, then I like it, I don't like it, this, that, the I, me, this thing comes into the picture. Otherwise, the enjoyment is there. You want to make it real nice, enjoy it. Why not? Just add the name of God to it. Om Namah Shivaya. Bahut ho gaya. So where's the issue of self-pity and blame and all this garbage sab baatein sab? It has to be literally burned out of the system. Completely. इसीलिए इसको स्वाहा कर देना. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Swaha is a mantra, by the way. इसीलिए mantra है. It's exactly for this reason. When we say Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha, Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Viche Swaha. Why we say Swaha? You can say it with the mantra. You don't have to necessarily do havan. Ek diya rakhna, that's fine. Swaha means it is a destruction of all of these limitations. Swaha kar dena. Hari Om. Prem rakhna. Saundarya rakhna. Anand mein jeena. Now, why is it so hard? What's so hard about this? What is hard is to keep staying inside this mud. That's hard. All the analysis has no end. Narrative fixation, all these big words are there. Withdrawal and self-referential looping. And kya hai sab baat? Who wants all this trash inside? Radha naam lena. There's no greater name than that. Radha, Radha, Radha. Absolutely easy and absolutely beautiful. Radhika ji ki murti hai. Unke saath prem karna bas. And leave, she take care of everything. You don't have to worry about anything. Drop all the tension. We're carrying so much as if I'm the one who's upholding this sansar. We are not the one upholding this sansar. Bhagwan Krishna says, I am the one holding everything together, not you. You are just a nimitta. And you think your ego is that because of me everything is happening. Nobody's indispensable in life. Nobody. If we are not here, the sansar will go on just like it is going to go on. You don't worry, we are not indispensable. We are here for our own development. We are not here to fix the problems of the entire world. We are here to serve the world for our own development, actually. That's why. The problems of the world cannot be solved because the world itself is a problem. The world itself is in Maya. It can never be solved. It never will be solved. It never has been solved. One has to go outside the dimension of the Prakriti, and that's the solution. It's like saying, your people, 1,000 people are inside the prison, and they keep running, and trying to make the prison more comfortable, better, trying to find a way out of the prison by being more analytical and comfortable inside the prison. Just by running faster and going from one room to another, one thing to another inside the jail, that doesn't take one outside the jail. That is what people are doing in this world, trying to come out, trying to find ananda that is beyond the sansar by running faster in the three gunas of Maya. Kabhi bhi nahi milega. Kisi ko nahi mila. Kabhi milega bhi nahi. How is possible? How is it possible? By running faster in the sansar and looping all these loops and everything we're talking about, we'll find a way out of the sansar? Impossible. We'll get more drowned inside there. To find a way out, Bhagwan ki sharanagati, taking the complete shelter of God. Then He will open the door. Durga Devi will open the door. You want to come out of Maya? I'll open it for you. She knows how to open that. She's the one in charge. She'll open it. And you can get out of the life-death cycle, everything. Otherwise, there is no end to it. It is anadi. Maya ka bhav anadi hai. Meaning beginningless. One will never get out of it unless one wants to get out of it. So getting out means internally fixing all the damage, letting all of it go. Swaha. This is the mantra that we have. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Om Ganganapate Swaha. Swaha kar dena sabko. Burn it out. And when we do this, then moment to moment, there is ananda. There is newness and growth. And family becomes beautiful. Energy is used in a beautiful way. Simple things, we don't realize. We talked about this in angel wing programs, not much here. Every single action, make it as beautiful and as correct as possible. Washing dishes, vacuuming the floor, doing your laundry, do it properly. Do it on time. Don't delay it. Fold the clothes properly. Get closets and kitchen and everything well organized. The more our external world is organized, the better we will feel about ourselves. But we don't want to do that. We want to throw things any which way. Our mind is thrown also any which way. This is called discipline. Not like a forced and very like a military style. I don't mean like that necessarily. It is a discipline. Without discipline, we cannot do anything in life. We cannot achieve anything in life. We cannot grow in life. And it becomes a animal mind. Like you have a pet at home. Pet has to be trained. The dog has to be trained. Potty trained and this trained. And they can be trained very well. We have to train the animal mind to make it human. And then once it becomes human, then we have to train it again to make it a bhakta. And once it becomes a bhakta, we have to train it even further so it becomes a mukta. Can we do it? Yes. Of course. Without any doubt. There is absolutely no reason for depression, anxiety, fear, guilt. These things, if they are there, whatever the treatments are there, those are aids. No psychiatric medicine is going to make decision for us. No therapist is going to live our life for us, and no doctor is going to be checking on us every day. Are you taking your medicines, or you're doing this, or you're doing that? We have to build our life, Uddareda Atmanatmanam, as Sri Krishna says in chapter 6. We have to build our life with our own energy, which is God's energy. Nobody's going to build it for us. Don't expect others to do something for us. Wo nahi hoga. Sorry. Maybe they can help here and there as needed. Have self-confidence. Self-reliance. There's a beautiful essay written called Self-Reliance, written by Emerson, American transcendentalist. Kabhi dekhenge usko bhi. Don't degrade oneself at all. Starting right now, on this day of Thanksgiving, be thankful for everything that is there. Use what is available and make it beautiful. Saundarya. Likh dena. मैं कौन हूँ? मैं स्वयं सौंदर्य हूँ. Or मैं meaning not the ego, that is Shiv. That is Mahashakti. Saundarya means beauty. Resonate with beauty. Find beauty. Recognize beauty everywhere. Of course there is deficiencies. Of course there's whatever mixtures, but there is compassion and beauty simultaneously. Somebody is suffering, have compassion, karuna. You see a beautiful rose, you see a rose, how beautiful. Appreciate it. Resonate with beauty and allow compassion to flow. That is the bridge between Saundarya and Karuna. Saundarya plus Karuna equals Prem. It's equation. Sundarta. From the sense level, Saundarya. And then from that sense level, we do bhajan, kirtan, etc. We will go into the mind level, from the mind level into the soul. That's in the Atman itself is the actual Sundarta. That is the Mahashakti, the pure, undifferentiated power. That is Ananda. Bhagwan ko kehte Anandakand. Bhagwan is beautiful. It is the study of aesthetics and philosophy, beauty. See, we say Ananda, right? We say Ananda mil gaya jivan mein. But we also say Saundarya. We say a rose is very beautiful. Sundarta. So where is that Saundarya? That is actually inside our energetic system. And that is what our ego destroys. It destroys Saundarya. That is the Saundarya that is manifesting in the mind, that is what it destroys, not the Atman. How beautiful. Kitni sundar baat hai. Isiliye, see, when we do bhajans, like this bhajan we just heard up Radha Krishna, that young girl was singing. Kitna bhav, kitna prem, kitni ek tanmayata Bhagwan ke saath. Aur kya chahiye जीवन में? How can there be any sadness and depression, guilt and shame and all this garbage? इसको trash है ये सब. इसके साथ इसका विचार भी नहीं करना. There's no need to analyze it, think about it, any of that. Keep your attention on Paramatma. Ramakrishna Paramahansa ji कहते हैं. He says the mind, meaning our inner space, will be colored and take the form of what it is associated with. If we are resonating with beauty, resonating with joy, resonating with enjoyment, resonating with ananda, resonating with finding good qualities of others, resonating with good healthy habits, resonating with discipline, resonating with keeping things in order in life, resonating with using money and time and energy wise, if you're resonating that way, then that is what we will become. We only become that which we resonate with. It's called resonance. That's what Sri Krishna is teaching in the Gita. He's teaching Arjuna that you resonate with me. You connect with me. You connect with my frequency. You connect with my tattva. All 700 verses of the Gita are about this. It's about resonance. How to tune oneself out of the egotistical resonance into the divya. It is called divya bhav, divya buddhi. It is the extraordinary quality of undifferentiated love. We talked about this verse before, right? Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samasukha dukha kshami. Isko andar mein lana, bring it inside. No rag dvesh with anybody. We have these reactions going on inside. Then the pity comes in. It's all jungle. No, don't bring that jungle. If you feel that is going on, recognize it has no purpose at all. The only thing that matters is what we do today, how we live our life today, and with a lot of good energy, move the body, get out of the house and go to different places, to parks, to temples, to different places, wherever you want to go. Don't get mind will become stagnated. It will become enclosed unless it is given activity. In Gujarati we say man bhoot jevu che. It's like a ghost, it has to be given some activity to do. Keep it active, then it'll be beautiful. The time is going to go on. Time is, life gets completely wasted when we don't, when we're contracted and stuck. And then the trouble begins. Then the degradation. When energy damage happens, energy sinks, my God, a lot of trouble. Sadness, depression. You sometimes you can see people who, when you see someone, just by looking at them, you know that they are having such an energy damage. We know that. Unke liye prarthna karna. But don't internalize. We talked about this several times already. Never, under any circumstances, internalize the deficiency of somebody else. Don't bring it inside. Pray for that person. Karuna rakhna. Prarthna karna. If something can be done, fine. Some good word can be spoken, fine. Maybe some donation given, fine. Whatever it is, and leave it alone. Leave it to God. It's not our responsibility to solve anybody's problems. We cannot solve anybody's problems as such. We can only give them guidance if they want it. And then it has to heal. Even a surgeon does the surgery, but the body has to heal itself. The surgeon cannot heal the body for that person. It's a natural mechanism. It's like that. We try not to solve anybody's problem except and get rid of one's deficiency. Help others, serve others, but don't take the responsibility that I'm responsible for solving these 10 people's problems. If you do that, we'll be finished. We'll be crushed. Those problems will crush us, and those problems will also not be solved. This is the art of remaining free. It is the art of compassion, and it is the art and science of non-entanglement, and it is the art and science of the right interaction. Interaction is always there in life, but there is a limit to that interaction. Sab limit pe rakhna. Don't exceed the limit, particularly with family members. If you exceed the limit, there will be all kinds of trouble. Too much conversation, unnecessary, useless conversation. Chhod dena isko. Bhagwan ki bhakti karna. Have the conversation with love, affection, care, truth, compassion, everything with benefit. Sometimes you have to get into some things, resolve it, deal with it. Don't get into negative words, negative thinking about anybody in the family, negative words, kabhi bhi apshabd, negative language about somebody, never speak it. Everybody has deficiencies, everybody has made mistakes, whatever. Negative vastu bolni kabhi bhi nahi. It will cause a vibrational wave that ripples, has a rippling effect. Home environment is to be made as a heaven, is to be made heavenly in every way. Nakki karna, as there is a New Year's coming up. If you want to make a New Year resolution, if we all want to do that, make our home and our mind a living heaven. स्वर्ग बना देना, भगवान का धाम बना देना. हम बना सकते हैं. It's not that we cannot do it. We can. We need to know how to do it first. That's what we're talking about every day. That is जीवन मुक्त. और उसमें तो आनंद ही है. इसमें और क्या है क्या? And so life continues beautifully, but there is absolutely no energy damage, no time damage, no self-pity, blame, shame, guilt. This thing doesn't serve any purpose. It only damages, nothing other than. It's part of the ego only. Blaming oneself is not something great, some great act of humility. It is an act of ego. We don't realize that, but that's what it is. Let's stop here for now. It's already 9:09. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Ganganapade Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam Iva Bandhanan Mrittar Mukshyam Amritat Namah Shivaya Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu Om Hrim Swaha.